Hey golfers, in this next video I'll be talking about the straight line release golf swing. Keep watching. Hey, it's Troy from hittingitsolid.com here. Thanks for watching. So in this video I'm talking about the straight line release golf swing. So if you're lacking any sort of power in your golf swing, just can't get the distance you're after, there's a good chance you're not releasing the golf club properly. You might be releasing it too early, not even releasing it enough, which is costing you that distance that you're after. So when we talk about the release, what are we talking about? So if I'm set up to one here, now these principles are the same with your irons as well as your driver, exactly the same. I've just got an iron here just for example. So if I'm coming through to impact, I've got this lag here, which is this angle between my lead arm and the club. As I come through to impact, after I've struck the ball, the release is that point straight after impact, or I release the golf club. Now, the key is to really make the most of your release is releasing the club after impact. If you release too early, which I find I see most golfers doing, you lose so much power. So you want to be releasing after impact. And you'll see a lot of videos showing throughout this presentation showing you some pro golf swings, and they are a great way to learn from. So what I see, and you might be the case if you've looked at yourself on video, as you're coming through in the downswing, if you see the club matching up with your right arm, right about the impact position here. This is where I see a lot of everyday golfers, weekend golfers, they're releasing the club right around the impact zone. And you'd think that that would create the most power, but it doesn't. Where most of the power is when you can release this club out in this area here. And once you start looking at all these pro golf swings that I'm showing you, you'll see they're all releasing the club out here somewhere, anywhere from say 25 degrees to even 50 degrees, depending on what type of shot they're hitting. That's where they're releasing the club, and that's where they're getting all the power. If this is 0 degrees, the pros are out here somewhere in that position here. So that's what you want to be striving for. Now, how do we achieve that? It's one thing to say you need to be releasing out in this area here, but how do you do it? Okay, so the first thing you need to do, as you're coming down on your downswing, you need to be rotating that body open. So you need to be rotating those hips and those shoulders open. So when you come down, do rotating and rotating open so that you can finish in that position. If you don't rotate your body enough, what you'll find is your body will stall and stop, and the club usually takes over, and you'll release early, and you'll get into this sort of position here, and the club will flip over like that. So we don't want that to happen. I want you to be continually rotating as we come down. I want you to continually rotate, hit the ball, and then release. As we're releasing out towards the target, that's how you're going to get that extra speed and that you're after. Now the other key thing, I spoke about releasing out here, but the other thing where golfers can get into strife, something you might be able to relate to, you might be aware you need to release out there. And what you do is when you come through, you'll hold that lag angle that you've got, and you'll keep holding it, holding it, holding it, and you'll end up in this sort of position here post-impact. Now, if you're playing a punch shot or something, a specific really low shot, that's not too bad. But for an everyday golf shot, you don't want to be holding this lag angle forever past impact and releasing really late, because that'll just lose a lot of power. It'll change the way the face hits the golf ball. You'll get a lot more different sort of spin rate on the ball, and you won't get the same power you could by releasing at that right time. So it's important that you're not holding that lag angle. Lag is very important, but you don't want to be holding, 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 and ending up in this sort of position here. That won't do you any good. We need to be coming down. This is Everyone's different where they get their lag to. Some get their hands roughly to about that rear thigh with the club parallel. As you come through, hit the ball and then releasing out here somewhere. That's what you should be aiming for. Now the next piece to help you get the straight line release, as you come through, think about this lead or this left wrist for a right-hander. As you get through here, it should end up cupping post-impact. As we get into this post-impact release position, this lead wrist should cup and exit out like that. What you'll find, and what I see a lot of golfers doing, if they don't get that left wrist moving properly, it'll cause a really funny looking release position like that. A bit of a chicken wing sort of finish, very weak, lacking a lot of power. You can see there my wrists haven't released properly, rather than here and here. Now with the release, there is a couple of different type of releases. Now you could fall into either one of these. It doesn't really matter which one you are. Some pros like Jordan Spieth, he holds his face square a lot longer after impact. He's got more of a square release like that. Other players like an Adam Scott or a Tiger do more of a roll release, where the right hand gets on top of the left more. Either one of these work. It's up to you to practice and see which one feels right to you. So how do you practice this so you get the most out of it? I recommend jump out of your chair, grab a club. You can do this with a driver or an iron. Come down to about this trail leg position, pause, and I want you to slowly go through and just pause at that release position. We go back and pause. And this will ingrain into your body where to release the club properly. You can actually hit short shots like this at the driving range, just coming to here and pausing. That's a great way to ingrain that feel into your body. I'll show you from just the down the line so you get a visual of it. So we're coming to here and then release. Here, release. Back to here, then release. If you're doing this right, and this is not a perfect size, you should see this club split right between your arms. I'll see if I can match up and get the right angle for you here. I'll just get on a slight angle here. As you come to here and through, you should see approximately that the grip of the club form one straight line, go roughly right between into your sternum, in between your arms in that position here, down towards the camera. Again, it's not a perfect science, but this is just a general guideline, having it split right between there. That's a really great release position for you to get into. So if you think these tips will really help you out with your release, make sure you smash that like button. That really helps me out. Now, really important, I've got a video coming up that talks about keeping the left shoulder down in the downswing. This is really key because when you get this right, this helps you release the golf club much better and will improve your golf game. So make sure you watch that video. It's coming up. Do you want to know how to play better golf? Click and watch the video on your screen now. It's going to go into more detail about how to keep the left shoulder down in the downswing, which ties in really well with this video to help you make a great golf swing. Do you want to know how to play even better golf? Consider subscribing to the channel. And remember, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I will get back to you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.